This one. All right. If you look closely, there's like paint on his face and what text. Okay. So here is the picture. I'm gonna put my screen down just a little bit so you guys can see. All right, here's the picture. I'm gonna show you what it looked like before I started adding stuff to it. Okay, so I'm gonna hide it. This is what the original picture looks like. Okay, this is the original. This is how I started. I found this picture online and I thought it was dope. I did not know what to do, so I just started messing around and I came up with something. All right, so I'm gonna take this off so you guys can see how I started. So, I selected the guy out. Kind of made a very clean cut right here for his neck. Then I added some paint, some paintings that I did, and then I added some curves. I clipped that onto that. I added another paint, added curves, added another paint, added curves, added another paint, and then I did the hue and saturation. That's what kind of gave me this color. So as I'm zooming in, you guys can kind of see the detail. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to do all of this from scratch. Okay, unfortunately, I don't remember where I found this picture from, but I think I searched white and black portrait African American on Google, I think. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm just going to show you guys how I started. So I am going to group all of these so that I can actually start from the beginning. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, all right, so I'm gonna hide this and we're gonna start from right here. Okay, so I use Photoshop Creative Cloud, and with that I am actually able to use something called select and mask. So you first want to make sure that you are clicked. First want to make sure that you are clicked on the layer. So I clicked on this layer right here. I'm just going to label it guy or portrait. Okay. Does anyone have any questions so far? If you do, just leave them in the chat and I will respond. Okay, so I have this person. I'm going to go to this button right here. That's the quick selection tool. I'm going to click on select and mask. Once you click on that, up here on your right, there's a view mode. For me, I like to have mine on overlay because then I'm actually able to see what I'm selecting. So I have mine on overlay, and now I just go and select the guy. Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys what I did. I selected like his shirt. I knew I was going to crop it out eventually, but I just selected it just cause. So I'm going to do that right here. Right there, and if you press Command plus, you're able to actually zoom in to see. And so the hardest part was his glasses. So I did this part. If I try to do this part, like the background comes out a little bit sometimes. Okay, this is pretty good. So I'm going to zoom back out and press OK. If I right click, I use layer via copy. Make sure that your output is on selection right here. Okay. And then you press OK. Right click and say, hey, what's up, William? Right click and say layer via copy. I say copy because if for some reason I mess up, I can always go back to the original. Okay. This is what my copy looks like. Okay, but if for some reason I mess up, I can just go back to the original and do my selection again. And this comes from experience. I've messed up a lot. So yeah, let's keep going forward. Now I have this person. I'm gonna make a layer mask right next to him. So if you look right here, that's the layer. At the bottom next to FX, there's a little square with the circle. Click on that. That makes a layer mask. Now, this is where it turns into preference. For me, I like to be precise with my cuts because I think that gives the whole realistic view. So I'm going to show you guys how I made the neck straight like I did on this one. You guys see that? Very perfect. Well, almost. You see that? It's whatever. All right. Anyways, back to this. So I'm going to use my pen tool. I like to use the pen tool. And now with the pen tool, I'm going to zoom in here and try to just get his neck coming down. So I'm going to start right about here. And if you know how to use the pen tool, this makes it very easy. So excuse me, I'm going to use my 2 hands to do this. So coming from there. All right. I'm coming back down here. Okay. And I have to be careful. Right now I'm holding down Option or Alt, just so that I can control where the pen tool moves next. So I put it right here so that it can go this way. And so now that's what I have. But to make it look a little bit more realistic, I do that. All right, now the good thing about this is I'm only focused on the edges, so I don't care what happens everywhere here. Okay, so I do all of that. Now I press Command. Oh yeah, this is sponsored by Glade. Yeah, I didn't even see that. But yeah, so you press Command and you click on this shape right here. And this way, it makes it a selection. You see that? And then I press the little eye thing so I don't see it. Okay? So now I know that this edge right here is about to be sharp. Now, what you need to do is go back to your layer mask. Okay? Press W or go to the quick selection tool. Right click and press select inverse. What that does is that it tells Photoshop that you're going to select everything that is outside this box that it made. So select inverse, and now I'm going to start erasing. Now, if you don't understand how layer masks work, think of it like turning the lights on and the lights off. Okay, so if you use a black brush, you're hiding stuff. If you use a white brush, you're bringing stuff to light. It's almost like when you turn off the lights, it's dark. Once you turn the lights back on, it's light. Okay, you can see. So here I am. I'm not erasing. I'm hiding this stuff. I'm using a black brush to hide. Okay. And as you can see, if I go over here, there's nothing affecting what's inside the selection because that's how I made it. Okay, so now I know that everything outside this selection is going to be hidden. So I'm doing all of that. Okay, now I have to be careful because up here is still open. So if you press the brackets next to the P on your keyboard, you can make this big or small. Okay, so for me, I have it making it a little bit smaller because now I'm getting more precise. So I have to be careful right there, and got it. And I'm just gonna try to bring some of it back. All right, does anyone have any questions so far? I'm gonna take a stop right here for questions. So I'm gonna hide this so you guys can kind of see what I used to actually make the paint. So I went to, where'd I go to? So there's this girl named, I'm gonna write her name here so you can see it. Paige, P-A-I-G-E, Pagering or something like that. She's really dope. She paints like every day. And so I was like, how can I paint and mix that with my pictures? So I went to Michael's, got me some acrylic paint, and some watercolor paper, and I painted this at home. Okay, I don't draw, but I know what I'm looking for. So this was what I did. I had gray, I had gold, I had black, and I had white. So I made this, all right? Now, we are going to use this on this guy, okay? So I'm gonna show you how I did that. So I'm gonna use the quick selection tool again, because now I wanna select, yes, my name is Tammy Coker. And Hope, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So I'm just gonna select this out. Okay, I'm gonna select part of the paint out, like the majority of it at least. Okay. All right, now I'm just gonna press OK, and I'm gonna right click and say layer via copy, kind of like what we did with the guy. So I'm gonna move this up. Yeah, I'm gonna move this up right here. So if I hide this, you can now see that this is on its own layer. Okay. No, I am not the guy in the picture. I have locks, so that's not me. I have a YouTube channel, but I'm not putting it to public until next week, on the 17th. So stay tuned for that. I will have 3 videos up there. Okay, so we now have the picture of we took the painting out of the background. As you can see, the painting is by itself. And now I have the guy. Okay, so I can't see the guy because the painting is behind him. In front of him. So if you press down Alt and you click in between these 2 layers, it turns it into a clipping mask. So it puts this whole painting into the guy, and it's called clipping in Photoshop. Okay, so hold down Alt, click in between the 2. You should see something that looks like a square with a down arrow. Okay, just gonna keep going then. Okay, so I've clipped this into the guy, and now that I've clipped him in, I'm going to take my curves, adjustments. I'm going to take my curves, and I'm going to clip it on the painting as well. Okay, so now I can actually change like the darkness or the brightness of it. So I kind of like it like this to have some type of detail. Okay, now here's where the magic happens. I just did the hardest part. Now, all you need to do is now if you guys look closely, there's something right here. It's called blending modes, okay? So if you switch it, you're gonna get different results. So that's literally what I was doing yesterday. I was switching stuff, and I used pin light, and pin light gives this effect. It's like it's right on top of him, but it's not, type of thing. So that's kind of how it started. I was like, yo, this is sick. Let me try it again. So let me hide this real quick so I can actually see what I did on the other ones. Was it this one? Yeah. So I had 4 paintings and I moved them all around. So I had pin light, okay. Then I had multiply. Then I had difference. Then I had divide. So pin, multiply, difference, divide. So we're gonna go back here. We're gonna make copies of this layer. Okay, so we have pin. What was the next one? I think it was multiply. So I'm just gonna name all of this. Multiply, divide, I believe. And there was one more difference. Okay, I'm back. Oh, so the layer I'm duplicating right now is the painting layer, the painting that I did. So I'm only labeling these layers so that I can know what I'm going to use. So I'm making copies of the painting. So let me hide all of this so you guys can all see what's going on here. So gonna repeat what I just did. So I had the painting. The painting was set to normal. Then I put it on pin light, and then I clipped this by holding down Option, or you can right click and say create clipping mask, and it's just gonna clip to whatever's under it. And I did the same thing for the curves, because the curves kind of gives it a darker feel. Let me zoom in so you guys can actually see what's going on here. All right, so the next one was multiply. The next one is multiply. All right, so I have it on multiply, and I'm going to make a copy of the curves as well and put that up here, and also clip this into what we already had. Now you might not see much of a difference because I haven't really moved this, but if I let me zoom in. But if I start to move this, you guys start to see what's happening. All right? So it's up to you. You get creative freedom on how you want it to look. So for me, I started to realize that I liked how it looked like it was coming out on this side. So I started putting a lot of stuff coming out from here. Okay, so this is probably not going to look exactly like the other one, but I think the idea is still the same. So we have multiply right now, and so we're going to make another copy of this curves, take it on top, have this one called divide, okay, and we're going to clip it on this one. So pretty much we're clipping if you look at these arrows right here, we're clipping everything back to this guy. Okay, I haven't changed the blending modes right now, that's why they all look the same. Okay, so I'm about to do that right now. I think difference came before divide, so I'm gonna move these two right underneath. Yeah, okay, so now I'm gonna change the blending modes. Let's see here. So this is on pin light, this is gonna be on multiply, so I'm gonna move this to multiply. Okay, you guys start to see what's happening. Okay, then I move this one to difference. Okay, you see what's happening here. And then I move this one to divide. All right, you see what's happening here. So I had divide on like 64% or something like that. And I think I had this a little bit down. And then with difference, I think I had that. Wait, let me see. I think these two were switched. Yeah. So that was my bad. So this doesn't have anything at the top, and you have your hue and saturation right here. Okay. So this was also on like 64, and this is like on 86, 87. Okay. Oops, sorry. Let me see if I was doing anything wrong with my curves. I doubt it. See guys, sometimes it's hard for me to like recreate something the same way. Okay, so pin light, I had this kind of over here. There we go. Then I kind of had this one over here. Yeah, okay, I think I'm seeing some stuff here. Okay, and then multiply, and difference maybe over here. Oops. Something like that. And yeah, so everything is really in the curves, right? So if you decide you want to change your color and the hue and saturation, you can just go in here. And as you can see, this is kind of the same color scheme I had for the last one. Now I just gotta find a way to bring everything out. Something like that works. Okay. And then if I bring my curves down, you start to see what's happening to his face. Alright, so I'm bringing the curves up so you can kind of see, get some details on what's happening. Alright guys, so it's really just trial and error. Like, there's no, see that? There's no secret answer. Now there's a routine that I use, which I'm showing you guys right now, but yeah, the results are never really always going to be the same. Okay? But the stuff are going to be very, very similar in their own way. So yeah, this is kind of how it's done. You just mess around with the, if you mess around with the curves enough, you should be able to get something really good. Okay, and in a second, I'm going to show you guys how to turn it into a GIF. Okay, so I'm starting to kind of like what I'm seeing. I'm just going to mess around with stuff. And look, you can even use different blending modes. Like, you don't have to use the one I gave you. You can go in and just do your own thing. You know, and you will get, the light is too bright. Let me see if I can get it to refocus. Oops. Can it refocus? Oh, it's too bright. Okay. Hold on. Dang. I don't like it being too bright for you guys. Give me a second. Let me see if I can fix it. Goodness gracious. Okay. I'm not too sure how to fix this, but I'm gonna keep going. Dang. Come on, man. Come on. Refocus. Alright, so I think it's probably also because I'm just making it too bright. So yeah, as you can see, I went to the first painting, and instead of pin light, I'm using other stuff, and I'm getting different results. So it's trial and error. Okay. All right. Thanks for that tip. Yeah, so you can use different blending modes, and you're gonna get different results. Okay, like I can change the one that's on multiply and put it to pin light and get a different result. Okay, so there's no right or wrong answer. It's just what you like. Like this. I didn't even know this was gonna happen, but here we are. All right, and if you just mess around with it, yeah. In fact, I like this, so I'm gonna make this a GIF. All right. Okay. Now we're gonna move forward. I'm gonna show you guys how. Ooh, this is sick. Oh my god. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to make a GIF with this. It's very simple. You want to go to Window, click on Timeline right there. All right, so down here, you're gonna have something that says like number 1, and that's gonna be your first frame, okay? And you want to have it on forever as far as loop. So for this one, what I really do is I just reduce the opacity of the layer or something, okay? You just want to find something that whenever you reduce the opacity, something else happens. So this one is a good example. So for the first frame, I'm gonna have my opacity on 0. And I'm gonna click on the next, I'm gonna make another frame. And I'm gonna have the opacity on like 10. Okay? Next frame, I'm gonna have the opacity on like 30. Okay? Next frame, I'm gonna have the opacity on 50. Next frame, I'm gonna have the opacity on 80. Next frame, I'm gonna have the opacity on 100. Okay? Now, if you press play, it's gonna start playing like this. Okay, because each frame has a different opacity. And so it's gonna keep playing like that forever and ever and ever and ever. And if you want to post it online, you can. You can just export it as a GIF. But for me, I like to post my stuff on Instagram. So I'm gonna show you guys how to convert it to a story. So I'm gonna press pause right now. I'm gonna pause it. Now you wanna select the first frame and then select the last frame. And then you wanna click on this little paper icon. And just keep clicking on it, and it's gonna keep making copies of that. And remember, a video is like 24 frames per second. So if you want it to be 10 seconds, you want to have 240 frames. So I just reached 240 right there. Okay. Now if I press this, it's just gonna keep playing and playing from frame 1 to frame 240. Okay. And now you're just gonna go right here and you press convert to video timeline. Okay, and what that does is it now converts it to video, and all you really just have to do is just bring a song in or something. Like yeah, this song is 3 minutes. I don't need all 3 minutes, so I'm just gonna go right about here to the end. I'm gonna click on the scissors, and that just cuts the clip, the music. So now if I play it, hopefully it plays in real time, but you should hear the music. And I do not hear the music. Hold on. Oh, okay. Now I think I should hear the music. No. Oh, do I have it? I have it. Hold on, I think I might have to put the music. There we go. Okay. Okay, and then right here you can say loop playback. And so if you really want to be technical, you can listen to the beat and find out where would be a perfect part to loop. So I'm gonna see if I can find it. I was close, but it seems like I didn't make my video long enough. So the bad thing about this is I can't go back. Well, I could, but I don't have enough time. I could go back here and say, you know, convert frames, convert back to frame animation, and then I can make more copies of what I'm doing to make this video longer, so that now I can extend the music. Because if I extend the music and I don't extend everything else, when I get to here, it's just blank, and you don't want that, right? So if you're gonna make this for Instagram, of course, you need to make sure that you have the right you need to make sure that you have the right settings. So right now this is on 8.5 by 11, and I can't export 8.5 by 11 for Instagram. So in order to resize it, I can just go to image, canvas size, and change it to pixels, and I think it's 1080 by 1080 for the Instagram squares. Press OK, proceed. Now of course my picture is going to be too big, so I'm just going to go to the layers that I used to make this, and I'm just going to shrink it down to size, right? And now if I zoom in, I can see that. So in order to select all the stuff, click the topmost part that is selected that you want to move, and then hold down shift and click the bottommost. And so now it selects everything and groups everything together. Okay, so now it's on Instagram, size, and do that. That's what it looks like. All right, and that is pretty much it. And to export it, you just click on these three things right here and press render video and select where you want to put it. I'm going to put this my documents on my desktop, and I'm just going to label it practice, and I'm going to render it. And yeah, so now I have the video. I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna play it for you guys. Practice right there. Okay, and since this is just video, it is not going to replay itself. But on Instagram, it replays a video over and over. Okay. And then this was one I did today, but I didn't add any music because I didn't have time. And oh, what, this is it playing? Wait, it's supposed to do something. Hold on. It's supposed to flicker. Interesting. And this was the one from yesterday. Same music. Thanks so much, K Black. Appreciate it, man. And yeah, let me see what size it is. Yeah, it's usually about 15, 14 megabytes. If you want to export this, you need to go to file. You have to convert it, because I don't think the iPhone takes MP4 or Instagram. I think they take only .mov. So you want to go to file, export 1080p, desktop, and then you want to put it's going to export it as .mov. Okay, so if I do that, you don't really lose quality, but it's just a different container. As you can see, the sizes drastically went down, but the quality is still the same, sort of.